And I don't know how many of you aren't very confident when it comes to your vehicle. I'm personally not a mechanic, but I feel like a lot of people are intimidated and won't do the simple things. They won't change their oil. They won't check the pressure in their tires because they don't know what to do. And it's a simple preventative maintenance procedure that takes a little bit of your time, and with just the proper knowledge, you can easily do it. It's somewhat cheaper because you're not paying someone for labor. And just a simple act of curiosity, you can open the hood of your vehicle and figure out what's wrong. It gives you somewhat of an excuse to look under your hood, look at your engine. And in this speech, I'm going to demonstrate how to check your oil, change your oil, and dispose of your oil properly using the required materials. And that's going to be an oil filter. Every vehicle is different. It's about the size of a soda can, maybe a little bigger, a little smaller, depending on the vehicle. And it's really thin. You can crush it, so you have to be careful. You're going to need oil. This is a quart, about 4 to 6 quarts, depending on your vehicle. Again, some rags. You're going to probably get oil on your hands, so expect that. A funnel and an oil filter wrench. It's universal. It'll adjust to any size filter, loosen it or tighten it depending on what direction you're working from. So I can begin with the first step. To check your oil, you have to pop your hood and locate your oil dipstick. You can't confuse this with your transmission dipstick. There's 2 of them. And to check your oil, just with a somewhat hot engine for better accuracy, you can pull your dipstick out. This one's going to be different color probably than your transmission, and it has sometimes a loop around it. Using your rags, you can pull your oil dipstick out, wipe off the oil that's on it, reinsert it, and pull it back out. And there's going to be an operating range, and there's cross hatches, and it'll say add and fill. And depending on where your oil is located, you can determine whether you need to do an oil change based on the color of your oil, the thickness, if it feels gritty, if it looks black and thick, and also determine based on how many miles you've driven from your previous oil change, about 3,000 to 4,000 miles. And after you determine whether you need to do your oil change, you can proceed to get under the hood or under your vehicle and locate 2 things: your oil drain plug and your oil filter. On some cars, your oil filter is going to be under your hood. On a lot of front-wheel drive, Toyotas and Hondas are under the hood, but your oil drain plug is always going to be under your car at the lowest point of your oil pan. I didn't bring one, but you have like a bin that you can plug to catch all your oil. Place that underneath both holes, both entrances that you're going to unplug. You're going to unthread the oil drain plug and your oil filter, and allow all the oil to drain. Give it about 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how big your vehicle is. And allowing all the oil to drain, you can contain all the oil and leave it to sit for a few minutes. And you can use a solvent-based any solution to wipe off any residual oil that's on your oil pan or where your oil filter is, just so you don't mix anything up. And with the proper oil filter, you can apply oil on the seal of the oil filter, apply it with the tool clockwise, tighten it's going to be upside down here on your back. Apply the oil filter, tighten it by hand, and then you can snug it about a 1/4 turn with the tool. And after that's done, you plug in it's just a threaded bolt head. You thread that into the oil pan and wipe up any, again, residual oil just to not mix anything up. After you're done under there, make sure everything's clean. You can take the oil pan out, the oil catch from under your vehicle, and then go back under the hood of your vehicle. And with the right amount of quarts of oil, you can use the funnel, and you need to locate your oil drain fill. That's going to be on either the left or right side of your vehicle on a valve cover. It's usually like a plastic cap, about the size of a soda can. And you unthread that, and you can place the funnel inside of it. And I recommend when you take this off, you unthread it, and there's going to be, like on a water bottle, these serrated teeth. Just take everything off. Sometimes it comes off with it. and then there's a foil to take everything off, because there's instances where it will fall down into your oil fill, and sometimes you have to pull your whole engine because a thin piece of aluminum gets down inside. And after you apply oil, you fill up your vehicle, truck or car, 4 to 6 quarts of oil. You top it off, making sure no oil spills. You fill it slowly, no big bubbles, just 1 quart at a time. After you fill it, you can check your oil, going back to step 1, the simple step, just capping your oil cap, and then pulling your oil dipstick out and checking. You're going to see that the oil's probably a little cleaner, like a goldish yellowish tint to it, and you can add a quart. You might have to drain depending on if you overfill to add the operating range. And if you meet the standard, if you're in between or a little above, after you start your engine, let it warm up. Everything will cycle and filter through. And sometimes you might have to add another half a quart or so after you start your engine. After that, that's basically a simple oil change. Sometimes the quarts and the filter go up to $25, $30 altogether. But I feel like you can broaden your knowledge just by doing it yourself. You might not be as intimidated by your vehicle you drive every day. Feel a little more confident. I know I'm not a mechanic, but I change my oil every 3,000 miles, and it's something I know how to do, and it's not something that everybody does. But after you take care of your oil change, you're going to be left with a big container of oil that you can't just dump down in the sewer, down your gutter or something. So a lot of places you can go, they require it to be sealed. So a lot of times they'll have a container with a handle on it, with a little vent cap. You lay it horizontally, and the oil will drain, and then it'll all go down in the corner. You cap that, you tip it over, and it's just like a suitcase just full of oil. You can take that to any O'Reilly Auto Parts or AutoZone. A lot of places will take your oil for free, almost like how Radio Shacks will take batteries or use cell phones, and you're helping the environment. It doesn't cost anything, and you're doing a good deed by not polluting the environment. So, simple oil change boosts my confidence. It gives you an excuse to pop your hood, and if you're changing oil, you can also look under the hood and see if there's any obvious reasons that your car might not be operating right. If there's a hose that shouldn't belong, if there's a hose that's not clamped right or something, you can see it just by popping the hood of your car for an oil change.